Well, good morning, everyone. It's your friendly neighborhood therapist, Jim Valeri, licensed mental health counselor, some random guy on the internet, persistent coffee drinker, and I'm here with you today to share with you some tools and tips for de-escalation. I think I'm actually going to change my title down below there to something funny every day. There's this really weird part of me that likes to throw humor out there, and just sort of like random humor. If you've watched me for a while, you know that about me. So I'm just going to start throwing random stuff down there, like a pervasive pancake pusher or some guy on the internet or something like that. I think it's going to be fun to do that just because, like, I don't know, it's just something I want to do. Maybe it'll help you laugh. One of my clients said they decided to work with me because I made them laugh, and they hadn't laughed in years. So I think it's something very important to try and do and try and help you laugh. Because life doesn't have to be serious, damn it. It can be fun. And that's my goal for you today, is to try and help you have a little more fun in your marriage, have a little more fun in your life. So if you like what you're watching here today and you are enjoying the content, what have you, like, share, subscribe, follow. Go to my website, dynamicmarriagesolutions.com. Check the stuff out there. Book a free call with me. All the good jazz that people do when they do videos, right? Kind of the idea. All right, so today, de-escalation. Now, remember Monday, we talked about identifying your issues. All right, we talked about identifying your reasons for being right, because that's why we're in arguments, right? I'm right, you're wrong. the basic building blocks of arguments, right? And then Tuesday, I asked you to dig down there somewhere, and try and find the things that are really deep rooted in your reasoning for being right. And now today, we're going to talk about tactics. All right, we are going to do what we can to talk about tactics for de-escalating an argument. All right. Now, how do arguments usually go? All right. Think about that for a minute. Arguments usually go, and they just keep going. Okay. They don't stop anywhere. All right. Like, once you get into an argument, you're like committed. You've got to see it through to the end, man. And that, it's okay. All right, but I'm willing to bet there's probably a better way to handle the situation. So that's what I'm going to propose to you today, is a different way to handle the situation and to make it better. All right, we want to de-escalate these arguments. So, how do we do this? Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you to walk away. Not from your marriage, because what kind of marriage counselor or marriage coach would I be if I sat here and told you, yeah, go ahead and walk away from your marriage. That's the best thing to do. In fact, there's plenty of people out there telling you to do that. Yeah, you just picked wrong. You picked the wrong phone. You picked the wrong car. Your spouse is no different. You just picked the wrong one. Just go find a new one. Just go ahead. It's okay. Everybody does it. Everybody screws up, makes a mistake sometimes. But that's not really how it works. Like, more often than not, when people get married, they do a lot of research, they do a lot of time, do a lot of figuring, as I like to call it, and they make the best decision the intel they have. That's what I'm a firm believer in humans' ability to make the best decision on the intel they have. Now, there's a lot of people out there, maybe they don't. Maybe they just roll right up, to some drive-through chapel in Vegas and they get married. Okay, cool, whatever. But that's not really how marriage works, generally speaking. So, we're going to try to walk away from the situation. All right. So how do we walk away from the situation? What are we going to do? So it's like, basically, you get into a discussion. It escalates to an argument. And you say, hey, I'm starting to get mad. I'm starting to say things. I'm going to think about saying some things that I'm going to regret later. I'm going to start throwing stuff at you that is going to make things worse. I'm going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to go step outside. I'm going to go take it easy. All right. I'm going to do what I got to do to make sure that I'm not making this worse. And the other person might not like that. Oh, what are you walking away for? You don't want to listen to me? Just take the space, take the time, step away from the conversation. 5, maybe 10 minutes tops. Okay? Why? Because you're going to come back to that conversation. You're going to step out of hell and you're going to go right back into it. Why? Because you are working toward changing the way you talk in arguments. You're giving yourself time to cool down, and you're giving your spouse time to cool down. Okay? Ask me how I know. All right? I'll tell you a quick story, just for the sake of argument. So one day, I was sitting and my wife and I was talking to her on the way home, and we started to get into an argument about something. And we got into this argument, and she just, bam, hangs up the phone. And I'm like, what? And so then, as usual, I call her back. And she's like, why are you calling me back? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, you hung up the phone. That was kind of childish. So that didn't make things easier. So eventually when we were calm, we had a conversation about it. And she said, I hang up the phone because if I don't, I'm going to say some nasty things to you. I was like, oh, okay. So we decided that we would say to each other, hey, if I don't get off this phone right now, I'm going to hurt your feelings. So we started doing that. And the crazy thing happened? We'd all be like, all right, we get off the phone. And the next thing you know, I get home and she's like, oh my gosh, I missed you. Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say those things. I'm like, man, I'm sorry. I love you so much. I didn't want... And all of a sudden, it just changed the dynamic. Why? Because we were able to calm down and actually have a conversation about what we were talking about rather than arguing and making it into name calling. Because see, here's the thing. If you allow that argument to keep going, it's going to escalate to name calling. It's not going to go back to the conversation, the issue that you were talking about. All right, it's going to go back to name calling. Okay, so we want to do that. That just makes things worse because then you hurt people's feelings and they take it personally and they remember it and they throw it back at you later. It's no good. So, what are we going to do about that? We got to take some time. Just eyeballing my notes over here. We're going to take some time and we are going to take some space. Okay? And so we come back to the conversation and we sit down and say, hey, I'm in a better place right now. Let's talk about this. The reason why I encourage people to come back to the conversation is because a lot of times people will step away from the conversation and the conversation is over. Okay? And this is usually an issue that is important to one or both spouses. So what ends up happening is people walk away from the conversation, they step away, and then they just don't talk about it anymore. Look, the problem's gone. That's it. No more problem, no more conversation. The problem's not really gone. We like to pretend it's gone. Okay? So this is what I'm talking about here. We don't want to step away from a conversation forever. We want to engage. We want to encourage conversation. And you got to have faith and believe in yourself and your spouse's ability to have real conversations without hurting each other's feelings. Okay? That's the idea. That's the goal. Okay? So, to review. Get into an argument, start to feel yourself heat up, take some space, 5 to 10 minutes. So 1, take some space. 2, the amount of time, 5 to 10 minutes. Step 3, come back to the conversation. All right? Re-engage. Hey, and how you approach it is, hey, you know what? I started to get angry there. I'm really sorry about that. Let's start over. Tell me again. Tell me what's going on with you. Tell me, like, I'm in a better place. I'm in a more calm state. Talk to me about where you're at and what you're doing. All right? So, but Jim, how do I calm down? What if I can't calm down? All right. Take some deep breaths. All right? Oh, geez, Jim, that's so corny. You know what? It works. You can't be stressed out and calm at the same time. Why do deep breaths work? Think about when you're sleeping. All right? I was just sleeping like an hour ago. All right? If you're sleeping, what are you doing? Take long, deep breaths, right? Why? Because you are slowing down your heart rate. Oh, funny how that works. Okay? If you are taking long, deep breaths, you're telling your heart, hey, man, it's time to calm down. We're not going to get stressed out and agitated. We're calming down. So you are using kind of like almost like a biofeedback method of calming your heart rate down so that you are in a more calm state. Once you're back in that calm state, you're like, all right, okay. And it gives you a chance to think about what it is that you really want to say that space away. So calm down, think about what you want to say, and then go back to the other things we talked about before. Use some empathy. What's my spouse's motivation? Where are they coming from? What's going on there? How do I understand them better? I understand me. I understand why I want a new truck or a new vacation, right? Or I want to remove screen time from the kids, or whatever the argument topic is. I understand the reasons why I want to do that. But what are the reasons why they want to? And I want to understand that too. So then you can articulate your stuff. You can say, hey, you know what? I got upset about this, and here's the reason why, and I feel really strongly about it. and try to articulate your emotional state and your reasoning behind it, okay, in a calm way rather than in an angry, frustrated way. Because if you're angry and frustrated, anything they say is going to come at you like an insult. It's not going to come at you like a calm conversation, right? So, to review, you see, you feel things heating up, go take some space, 5 to 10 minutes. Calm yourself down, take some deep breaths. Try to shift your focus toward your own personal ideas and thoughts about this. Think about what you want to say and how you want to say it. All right? You don't necessarily have to try and convince the other person. That's the other part of this. Don't try and convince them. They have their own reasons for thinking and feeling the way they do. It's important to be able to recognize that it's okay for them to have a difference of opinion. And if they do, sometimes you gotta agree to disagree about stuff. There's some things my wife and I agree to disagree about. Thankfully, they're nothing huge. But if they're not huge core value issues or not big money issues or anything like that, it's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay. Like, that is another option in an argument. And so you want to make sure that you are de-escalating your own emotional state, calming down so you can come to the conversation, and then finally engage in some empathy. Understand where they're coming from so that you can go and engage and say, hey, I'm getting a sense that this is where you're coming from. Is that true? Is that what's going on here? And if it is, I want to be able to speak to that. I want to hear more about that. And hopefully we're both in a calm place where we can both talk about it in a way that doesn't hurt each other's feelings. Because at the end of the day, who the heck wants to do that? This is literally the person you're spending your life with. Why would you want that person to be your enemy? Why would you want to be on that person's bad side? And moreover, why would they want to be on yours? You guys want to work together, not working against each other. All right? Anyways, I'm really passionate about this topic because it's something I work with people on a daily basis. Okay? So, I want to thank you for watching today. If you want to see more of what I'm doing, go ahead and like my stuff. I'm so bad at this part of the whole video thing. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I could say that all day long. Or just, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and follow Dynamic Marriage Solutions on Facebook. Friend me on Facebook. Something. Okay? Go. So you have these in your feed. So I don't have to, I put the thing out there publicly so people know what's happening. But it'll be good for you to be able to see it if you like this stuff. Anyways, dynamicmarriagesolutions.com. It's right there in the corner. It may not be in the corner tomorrow. I might just put something else there just because I'm weird like that. But anyways, thanks for watching today, folks. Really appreciate your time. Take care of yourself. See you tomorrow morning.